Hey y'all, today me and Miss Ad are going to be making a crock pot Italian mozzarella chicken.
I'll have a whole lot of fun.
Please drop some cheese on the floor.
Because that's how our dog talks.
Yeah, of course, it sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Hi, welcome back to another edition of Cooking Chris's Dishes with the good old boy.
And Miss Ad.
And today we're making a crock pot Italian mozzarella chicken. Aunt Lou says that this is amazing. I love mozzarella. I love chicken. I love anything that even tastes remotely Italian. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be pretty good. And what you need are the following ingredients. Miss Ad, would you read me from the list?
6 boneless skinless chicken breasts.
Boneless chicken, what? 6 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Got them right here.
Salt and pepper.
To taste.
3/4 a teaspoon of dried oregano.
That would be right here. Dried oregano, 3/4 teaspoon. Got it?
3/4 teaspoon of dried basil.
Right here, 3/4 teaspoon dried basil.
3 cloves of garlic minced.
3 cloves of garlic minced. We're using dried minced garlic, so we use about 3 to 4 teaspoons.
24.
I got the hiccups. Sorry. You're gonna need 3 to 4 teaspoons of...
You buy not the Parmesan or
my
mozzarella
goodness.
or whatever it is.
Oh, that would have been cheesy. What else we need?
Okay. Let's see. 24-ounce jar of marinara sauce.
We use Rayo's, low carb, good stuff, expensive, don't drop it.
11 and 2 C. I don't know what that means.
What?
C. It says C on it.
Where? That's 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese. That's in the fridge. We'll need that later, not for now. What else we got?
An 8-ounce package of penne pasta cooked.
Or zoodles, or low-carb pasta, which we're going to use, or rice cauliflower, something to put this stuff over. We'll use that later. What else?
All right. 1/3 of a cup of green olives with pimientos chopped.
Right here. We'll chop them later. What else?
And then 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese.
Here we go with 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Again, we'll need that later, so we'll set these aside. Now, what you want to do is you want to take all of your seasonings, your basil, your oregano, your salt, your pepper, your garlic, and give it to the chicken. Because the first part of this is real simple. This is a 2 to 3 step recipe, but the first thing you want to do is season and cook your chicken. So we got our garlic and our basil and our oregano and our salt and our pepper, and now you just want to make sure that the chicken gets coated with it. So we'll give it a few turns around here in the bowl, make sure everything is a little even. And then once you get your chicken all coated with all those spices and herbs, you stop and you smell. You go, man, that smells like it's going to taste good. And it is. Miss Ad, would you come over here and take the lid off of our Ninja? And all you want to do is put this in the bottom of your slow cooker. 2. I would show you an overhead shot of what I'm doing, but the problem is I forgot to charge the camera, so the overhead's dead. Don't worry, I'll go charge it while this is cooking, but really, all I'm doing is taking this and putting it in there. Like that. The chicken's gonna touch. It'll be okay. Because sometimes when we touch, the feeling's just too much. Reference, who sang that song? Go ahead in the comments below. Put the chicken in there, put a lid on it, and then you want to cook this on low. Would you scroll up on my phone because, well, I got chicken stuff all over me. You want to set this on low for 6 hours. Depending on your slow cooker, it could take 4. Depending on the size of the chicken breast, it could take 5, or it could take all 6 hours. I'm going to wash my hands, and when we come back, we're going to show you what the cooked chicken looks like, as well as the next steps in 3, 2, 1. And we are back, and the chicken is done. Let's give it a little looky-see. And Addie, do you remember what temperature you're supposed to cook chicken to in order to make sure that it is done in the middle?
375?
No, that's what you bake it at.
Oh.
It's got to be 165 degrees. We like to cook ours to 170.
Chicken then.
Well, yeah, you definitely would have burned your chicken. Well, 170 degrees, and that will make sure that it's done in the middle, and also it cooks up a little tender, especially with breasts. Again, we're more thigh people around here, but Aunt Lou said to use breast, so we're gonna. And all I want to do now is get my breasts out and put them on a baking sheet, because you're going to use your stove for this. You don't have to. Absolutely not. You could just put this back in your slow cooker here in a little bit and put the mozzarella cheese on top, but we're going to use our broiler to get that browning feature going for our bubbly cheese. And what you want to do is take a cup and a half of your mozzarella cheese and sprinkle it over the top just like that. Make sure it's even on each piece of chicken. Do you think you could do that? And then I'll show the next step. And that is to trip over your dog. Aki, get back in there. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to take a third of a cup of green olives, which Addie's not a fan of on their own. They're a little different down in Disney World, aren't they? We went to an Italian restaurant down there in Disney, and they had these great, big, giant looking, they were like the size of like almost little peaches, these olives. And they tasted buttery. Now, these in a jar aren't going to taste like that. They're a little more sour, maybe a little bitter too. But you are going to love them in this sauce. So what you want to do is just chop them up kind of evenly, I guess.
Just sprinkle the whole thing of cheese.
All that goes over all that chicken. It's already starting to melt now. Just make sure it's topped really good, because we want that browned up. But just like that, chop up your olives, and I'm going to add that back to the chicken stock that was created by slow cooking that chicken. And to that, you want to add your 24 ounces of sauce. Again, we're going low carb, so we use Rayo's. I really should have loosened that before I turned the camera on. This could be comedic. Oh, no, we got it. Good. All right. And we'll pour that in there, just like that. I'm going to shoot a little shot of water, just enough to clean up the edges, because again, Rayo's is kind of expensive, so I want every last bit of that sauce I can get. And then you want to add your Parmesan cheese right in there. And I've got this still cooking, which is good, because all I want to do is pretty much heat that sauce through. Now this is going to be a little bit thinner of a sauce because I added it to that chicken stock. That's okay. I could bring this to a boil and reduce it down a little bit. I could have drained some of that chicken stock off if you want a little bit thicker of a sauce. It's totally up to you. And while we've got that heating up and melting that cheese down, I am going to pop this under the broiler for just a couple minutes, just long enough to melt all that cheese and brown it up. Just perfect. You did a fantastic job with that. But all I want to do is just heat this up. And Lou says to serve this over like a penne pasta. Our dog just sneezed. Bless you. You want to serve this either like over a penne pasta. You could serve it over spaghetti. We do ours over zoodles. You could do it over rice if you wanted to. Maybe some garlic mashed potatoes even. But since we've got a lot of food cooking up today, we're just going to have it au naturel. And that means we're just going to have a little bit of sauce over the chicken as soon as it broils up. And that should be right about now. And the chicken should be all broiled up here. Let's check our cheese. Oh yeah. Shut the oven off. Check that out. Look at all that bubbly cheese right there. It all browned up. And again, this isn't an absolutely necessary step if you don't want to, but if you wanna, you should, because that cheese is a little crispy on top, it's bubbly, it's golden brown, and then our sauce has started to reduce down a little bit. It's heated through, that Parmesan cheese has started to melt, and you also want to make sure as you're doing this, you want to stir this up. I set this on a high setting on our Ninja, and that's the saute feature on here, and what that's going to do is kind of bring that to a low boil. If I left it going, it would bring it up to a high boil. That's one way to reduce the sauce down if you want it a little bit thicker. Totally up to you. But now, my favorite part, the presentation. So I'm going to take one of these chicken breasts. Which one? I think that one right there looks pretty good. Yeah. Oh, look at it. Look at that. You see the cheese, and underneath the cheese are all those spices.
Don't drop it.
Oh no, don't drop the chicken. And I'm just going to take the sauce and spoon it over the top of the chicken. Like Lou says, you can put this in a pasta, which would be really good. We're just going to take it right over the top of the chicken, just like that. That look good? And now let me cut into it. And I'm warning you right now, Miss Ad, this is going to be hot. Like super hot, because that just came out of the slow cooker right into the broiler. And that sauce came right out of the slow cooker. Let's get just a little bite there. Let's get you a bite too. All right. Well, chicken's falling apart. That's a good sign when your chicken's falling apart, especially breasts. But make sure, and I know you don't like olives by themselves, but I recommend this bite right here. We'll get some olive along with some of that chicken.
Okay.
Make sure you blow on it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for a sec.
Oh wow. To me, putting those olives in that sauce and letting them kind of heat up in that sauce, it pulls the bitter taste away from the olive and you get that true taste of the fruitiness of the olive. Now, of course, that sauce is spectacular. That's one reason I could care less if that stuff was low carb or not. That's like my favorite sauce to use. And when we poured it into that chicken stock with the cheese, it's got all those herbs and spices that the chicken cooked in. A lot of it stayed in that stock. It's very hearty. Gosh, I didn't even need a knife for that. That's a good sign whenever you don't need a knife to cut into a chicken breast. Whenever you can just take your fork, you know you've done good. See what I did there? You don't care, you just want more chicken. I like that. That's good. Good job, Aunt Lou.
Good job.
Well, if you like what you're seeing here, whether it's the good-looking guy, his good-looking kid, or this good-looking food, and that is some good food, give us a like down below. If you have not become a member of the Crock Posse, all you got to do is click that little subscribe button down below. And also, if you want to know as soon as we put something up, click that bell that we call the...
Doing.
Yep. And also, whatever y'all do, make sure that you laugh often.
Eat your food.
And speak life. Bye, y'all. Dog's over there.
Please drop some cheese on the floor, Dad. Please drop some cheese on the floor.
Because that's how our dog talks.
Yeah, of course, he sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Drop some cheese on the floor, Dad.
Pretty good, huh?
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon